Okay. My name is Tamia Commander, and this is my second interview. I'm interviewing. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jay.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jonathan Vasquez.
Alrighty. And he is. What was your major in college?
Graphic design.
Graphic design. And he is going to answer some questions about video editing for me. All right. Now, first question. Okay. How long have you been editing videos?
Oh, man.
Go ahead, give me the rundown.
For years. I started editing videos in high school. We used to have this program. It was my last period. It was a communications program. And it was the first time I ever used a Mac. And I had a great teacher who was really into trying to get everyone into video and technology and editing.
Okay.
So it was super fun. Like, he would let us use camcorders and all the video software. So, yeah, super fun.
Okay.
That's kind of where it started.
Okay. And so, what made you want to start video editing?
We did for our final school year project, instead of a regular yearbook, we did a video yearbook. And so I started working on that. And that's kind of when I really got into it and was like, I think I want to do this. I think I would want to pursue this and work on other projects.
Okay. So, third question. Any advice you could give someone or anyone who is a beginner editor or want to pursue a career in film and media?
Surround yourself with great mentors, people who are seasoned and people who are willing to share their knowledge. Because I feel like that's the best way to learn and grow. And not just learning one technique, but you learn different techniques and styles and skills from, multiple people. So I think having that good small group of mentors to kind of ask questions and help guide you on your journey is super important.
Okay. That's very good advice. Okay. Are there any downfalls in being a video editor?
A downfall? Very tedious. You'll be looking at the same clip for 30 minutes, and it's only like a 5-10 second clip. So, you got to be okay with repetition and working your way through the project. And then also, I think other big one is learning how to work with your clients. That's going to be one of the biggest challenges because, you'll get clients that want certain things done and then your ideas clash with theirs. And you got to kind of find a happy medium. So I think that would be my second.
Okay. What name some projects that you worked on?
Projects that I worked on? Oh man. We did the yearbook. That was fun. I've worked on some projects with a really good friend of mine who works with a Latin artist who sings, and we did his video. So that was super fun. We recorded everything, and then we edited everything. And it's actually up on YouTube. It's got thousands of views. So that was super cool. I've done a lot of personal stuff for like friends and family. Anything from like, family photo albums, kind of like, digitizing them or creating family video stuff. So that's always cool. That's always kind of nice. It's different and it's rewarding to see their family members enjoy that video. I think that's super cool.
What editing software are you most comfortable with, and what's the best software to start out on for a beginner on a budget? So me, technically.
My favorite is Final Cut Pro, and I kind of dabble between that and Adobe Premiere. I really love both of them for their own strengths that they provide. Sometimes I use them like, I'll start something in Final Cut and then finish it in Adobe Premiere.
Okay.
If you're starting, iMovie,
Okay.
or your phone, use the app. I can't remember the name of the app right now. CapCuts. I think that's a really good one to start with. It's real simple.
I have that on my
but
phone.
You can get complex if you want to with it.
Okay. What's your process for syncing audio and video?
Process for syncing audio and video? You can do it by ear, which is kind of the most painful one. If you learn how to use your timestamps in your camera, I think that will save you a lot of time. So if you're recording with multiple cameras, making sure that your timestamps on your cameras match will almost pretty much instantly get you a good synchronization. And then I think, now we've got AI.
Yeah.
So there's some software you can use that can help you kind of do things a little bit faster when it comes to syncing things. But I'm old-fashioned. I will most likely just do it by ear because that's the way I grew up doing it, and that's the way I love to do it. So that's probably most likely I'll always do it by ear.
Okay, hold on, Jay. How do you organize your footage before starting a project?
Oh man, I think that's super important. That's one thing I learned when I went to school. Making folders for everything and putting them in the right place, whether you're starting with, draft number 1, draft number 2, even if it's real simple, draft 3, and then organizing all your clips, because you have like all your main roll stuff, and then you have what they call B-roll, which is just like side shots and things that are not part of the main storyline that you could use for fillers to fill in, those little gaps and give variety to the video.
Okay.
So I think just knowing what you filmed and placing it in folders where it makes sense. If you got action shots, if you got close-ups, you got wide shots. So trying to organize them in some kind of category. So when you're looking for the right thing, you can find it super easy.
Okay, cool. That's very insightful. I'm noting all of this, just to let you know that I'm noting all of this because this is what I need. You're the perfect person for this during interview. Okay. What's your experience with motion graphics or visual effects, or do you have any experience at all with those?
Well, motion graphics, I haven't done a ton of motion graphics. I did a few things for like school projects where they would give us all of the files and then we would go ahead and animate whatever it was to the audio they provided. So whether it was like a video game intro or just what they call like slide-ins, where the stuff. Like if you watch football games or if you watch the news, you see those little titles slide in, slide out. Those type of things I've done.
Yeah.
So very familiar with those things. I haven't done any big projects where it's like a full video of motion graphics or anything like that.
Okay. Can you describe a project where your editing significantly improved the final result?
We worked on this one project, me and my best friend, and there were just these two guys who recorded a video out in Puerto Rico, and they were just like, yeah, we need somebody to edit, and you never know what you're going to get. And when we got everything and they sent it over, we were like, oh man, this is kind of rough. So it's a matter of using what you have in front of you and figuring out how to use it creatively, right? Let's say, like, for example, the film, the movie they sent us, or the video they sent us, it looks kind of grainy. Let's go with that. So let's make it gritty. Let's make it grainy. Or they sent it over and it looks really dark. Okay, well, let's try to use some filters and see what we can do to either make it like look kind of cool the way the contrast is in the video. So yeah, playing with different tools to know kind of what you have in your arsenal. Okay. So I think that's always challenging, but when you get it done, it's like, wow, that's like left and right when you watch the video. You're like, man, look, this is what we started with,
And just seeing the difference is really important. I think. Okay. So, how do you fix issues like poor audio or shaky footage?
I always go with number one. Ask them to record it again.
Okay.
I mean, I know it kind of sucks when you have to tell someone that sometimes, but sometimes it's for the better result. And then if not, you can go ahead and if you got shaky footage, Adobe Premiere is phenomenal for shaky footage. It has a built-in stabilizer, kind of like your camera has a stabilizer in it. It'll do the same thing with the video, and it works really well. So that's always like a good save. And then, if you've got, like I said, like work with what you got, right? So if your footage isn't like high def, okay, well, let's make the video look like it was recorded on a VHS, and like that's the vibe, right? So work with what's given to you, and then kind of use your tools that you have to make it unique and make it still work.
Okay. Mentally noted. Okay, so how do you handle feedback and revisions?
Feedback and revisions, man. I'm doing one right now, actually.
Is that the flyer that you were talking about?
Probably like my fourth one, yeah.
Okay.
Feedback and revisions, I always take them with openness. I think is important, where they're not. Sometimes the client isn't critiquing your skill. That's not what they're critiquing.
Yeah.
They just have a vision in their head, and it's your job to make that vision look like what they see in their head.
Go ahead.
So don't take it personal.
Okay.
Never take it personal. Like, to me, that's the best advice that someone gave me that I've worked with a few times, and he's a professional. Like, he works in professional design, and he told me, never take anything personal, because it's not an attack on your skill. It's a way of like figuring out what the client wants and what they need.
Okay.
So I think if you always put that first, what they need, and I think that'll keep you in the clear. Sometimes you'll bump heads, and sometimes you have to tell them, hey, you paid me because this is what I do. I'm an expert at this.
Yeah.
And you kind of asked for my expertise. So if you feel like I'm not giving that to you, or you feel like it's clashing, like, that's okay. I understand. You can go with someone else and work with someone, because it's not always going to gel, and it's not always going to vibe. So you have to be okay with that, and you got to know that you're not for everyone, and you have a certain style and a way of doing things, and sometimes that may really clash with someone. But it's finding the right client or finding the right people too. So yeah, I think that's super important.
Okay. It kind of goes back to my first interview with a professor that works at the school. His name is Dr. Decker. He told me, like, being an editor and like an author, you have to be able to handle rejection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important, because there's a lot of people out there that will reject you, but that doesn't mean that you're not a good writer or your book is not good. It's just not for them. So
Right.
I like that. Okay. So that kind of the next question was, how do you communicate process with clients or team members? But you kind of just answered that in the last question.
I can go more in depth, I guess, if you want.
We'll skip that one. But the next one is, who or what inspires your editing styles?
Oh man, everything. Everything from video games to music videos to photos, photography. Basically, like, anything visual can inspire something else. I feel like they're so interchangeable. If you do photography, you can get inspired by video, and vice versa. So yeah, it's really everywhere. Even architecture, the way buildings are placed, and just anything visual, it inspires me. Like, my Pinterest board is crazy. I have so many Pinterests and things that inspire me.
Okay. Are there any skills that you're trying to improve? Or want to
Always.
improve?
I always love to learn from anybody who's willing to share.
Me too.
I meet people. I meet people who work with me on different projects, and I see the way they work or the way they do something, and I'm like, I'm going to take that and put that into my workflow.
Okay.
And that's kind of how you build your set. Your skill set is just like grabbing and picking from things that you see other people do, and then you just kind of develop your own thing.
Okay. And last and final question. If I gave you raw footage today, what would your step-by-step editing process look like?
Ooh. The first thing is, organize everything. Organize your clips. Like I said earlier, like, know where your shots are and what you're looking for. And then color grading everything, making sure everything looks the same all the way through. And then you can start cutting or editing, which is just, picking the shots that you think are great, that are going to work. And then after that, you want to go into, what am I going to add to this? What effects am I going to add? What text am I going to add? And then, start playing with those things. And then the last thing is, as you grow, you'll develop your own, like, style or your own signature, and then always kind of implement that on it.
Okay. Well, one last thing. and then we'll go. Do I have permission to post this on my podcast?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Jay. I appreciate you for giving me your time. And you were very insightful. You were perfect for this interview. I don't know why I didn't think of you in the first place. Oh my God. I can't believe you slipped my mind.